MP at Westminster to their ranks. The council, mayoral and by-election results will continue to come in over the next 24 hours. Director of UK Politics for pollster Ipsos, Kieran Pedley, says some of the mayoral contests which Reform has lost to Labour suggest it's making progress with the electorate.
What we're seeing across each of those contests is a big swing from Labour to Reform UK. And I think the results we have so far do suggest that Reform are very much on the march in these results. As I say, big swings to Reform from Labour. This does suggest that the big gains in support since the general election for Reform UK are real.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Friday. It is the second day of May for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, back with you to start your day again the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get you up and get you going here this morning. Going to be talking about the Nebraska football team. They have landed one of the top passers of the 2027 recruiting class. We'll tell you about that coming up. Plus, in kind of a surprise move, the Huskers are bringing in a kicker out of the transfer portal. We'll tell you where he's coming from. The Hastings College softball team, their season is over. They lost to Dordt yesterday in the elimination game of the GPAC postseason tournament, losing to the Defenders by the score of 8-1. The GPAC baseball tournament continues today. The softball tournament continues today. Got some high school baseball on the schedule for today. There are some high school baseball games played last night. Of course, we'll check the NBA and NHL playoffs from yesterday. Plus, we'll talk with Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. He will join us at 7:30 this morning, not only talk about the card at Fauner Park on this final weekend of live racing at Fauner, but we'll also talk about the Kentucky Derby, which is coming up tomorrow. So a lot of horse talk on the show today as we welcome back Tyson from the Western Studios. He's made the trip from the great Northeast back down to the Western Studios overnight. Good morning.
Good morning. Fremont. I always thought, deep in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, that's just right by Omaha. That'll be a straight shot. No, you kind of go up a highway, make a few turns, go through a few roundabouts. The fields were actually about 10 miles just on the outskirts of Fremont. And so there was a little long and winding road to get out to the field. But, spent the week down there with the Hastings College softball team. Obviously, Mother Nature was a big factor in the week as that tournament progressed, and championship games were being played over in Orange City, Iowa, while we were playing an elimination game last night, and they were already on their if necessary game. So everything goes according to plan, and that tournament's kind of easy breezy, and we're talking about the GPAC championship right now, but still to be determined games over with Dordt remaining. You've got Midland in there taking on Dordt today, with the winner to have to beat Morningside twice in the if necessary game, and that's still kind of if on the weather pending side of things, as a lot of rain was expected to roll through the area today over on the Fremont side. So tell me something I don't know. Rain affecting spring sports in Nebraska. Who knew? Glad to be back here in the Western Studios. Took off. They said they were going out for one more team supper last night, and I'm like, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Want to go home, and so made the trek home last night. But really great experience to hang out with the softball crew for the week, and again, just a big thank you to Coach Baker and Theo and Eric Williams and their hospitality and really welcoming me into that softball family. You don't see it everywhere you go. We've covered a lot of teams. We've covered a lot of schools. throughout our broadcasting career, Mike, and it is really special when a team kind of welcomes in the play-by-play guy and makes you feel like you're just as equally as part of the team as the third baseman. So great experience, and just couldn't say enough about their leadership and the way that program and culture is being run there. Obviously, things don't end the way you want to. A lot of factors and a lot of things working against you, but no excuses. I mean, you give all credit to Dort. They hit the crap out of the ball yesterday. They were able to get to KB. Not a lot of teams in the GPAC have been able to do that, and boy, they found barrels yesterday, and we're hitting gappers and just hitting it where we weren't, and Hastings College was kind of doing the opposite. We'd square up on a ball and hit it right to the second baseman for a routine double play, and then sometimes the non-traditional double plays. I mean, we had a 1-2-3 yesterday where they go right back to the pitcher on a frozen rope right back up the middle. They obviously quickly get that back to the catcher, fire it down to first, and a couple bases loaded opportunities go by the wayside, and those are the differences in a ball game. When you take a look at the opportunities that are left stranded, and you just scratch your head because you're one pitch away from pulling away. We get bases loaded, hit a batter in the first inning, and you're up 1-0, and you're thinking, okay, well, here we go. We're going to slam on the accelerator. This will be easy peasy. Let's talk about the fourth rematch against Midland, and we're going to smoke Dort. And then next thing you know, you can't cash in on that opportunity because you ground into a double play, and Dort strikes back. And like I said, all credit to Dort. Their offense was fire yesterday, and good luck to the defenders as they take on Midland University here at noon in that elimination game. Lots of topsy-turviness going on in the GPAC. Doan the Darlings from day one end up getting ousted by Northwestern as the Red Raiders made their way through the consolation ladder. So it's softball, man. Like any given day, any given out, you got 21 outs to work with, and credit Northwestern for coming back through the consolation ladder. That's hard. We got to experience it firsthand, and we were taking a look at the map and the road to work our way through that consolation ladder. Ultimately, all things being what they were, we didn't get that opportunity, but just a really, really great experience over in Fremont over the week. But glad to be back.
God, what else is on your mind?
Blues hockey play tonight. Kentucky Derby Saturday. God. This is a 2-hour show, my guy.
It might turn into one. The Kentucky Derby. You got your favorites in that, baby?
I do. We'll slide into more of them at 7:30. But I when I watch the Derby prep races this year, and I'm looking at the barns, and I'm looking at all the data. I think it's hard for a news guy of 18 years not to pick journalism. That just screams off the page like, hey, if you don't throw journalism in at least your exotics, what are you doing with your life? And so we'll throw the favorite in there, and it's a name based only, and he's a good horse too. But I love journalism. The horse that I've been high on all year long has been Sandman. And so I like Sandman coming out of that post pot. And then I'll probably throw Tistastic in there in my exotics. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to get crazy with the Kentucky Derby this year. And I say that knowing fair well, I could go to Fauner Saturday and 3 beers in and 3 races in. My picks might get a little bit more crazy. But I'm thinking just a simple little $2 exacta box on those 3 horses. Tistastic, Sandman, Journalism. They're my 2 favorites. Journalism for sure. I think he's a strong horse coming out of that favored position. But there's a lot of damn good horses in that race, and you got to settle the problem with the Kentucky Derby is there's 20 horses, right? And you could make a case and an argument for about 10 of them. But you're not going to throw in 10 horses in an exacta box in the exotics window, so you gotta narrow it down. I made my predictions pretty early on, and I'm just going to stick with my gut. Give me Journalism, Sandman, and Tistastic in a $2 exacta box.
One horse I have kind of circled here is Render Judgment.
Mm-hmm.
coming out of the number 14 gate.
Yep.
And we'll talk more with Jim coming up at 7:30. I don't want to get too far into this here, but Render Judgment is a horse that is evidently owned or co-owned by, it used to be Toby Keith. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of got a little touch of my heart there.
Sure.
I was always a Toby Keith fan, and evidently Toby used to own Render Judgment. He is in there at 13-1.
Okay.
So
let's get some money.
That's a possibility. I'll talk with Jim about that at 7:30. That's kind of on my mind today. What are the chances for a Render Judgment to maybe make a run for the Roses?
Yeah, we got to put our tickets together. But you know me and you, man, we're going to need a little help. So we'll call on the expert at 7:30. Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network will join us to talk Fauner Park and all things Kentucky Derby, the running of the Roses, coming up this Saturday on NBC.
Nebraska football made kind of a splash yesterday. We signed another quarterback. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, our room is full, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but also take a look at the class he's coming in.
Yeah, 2027.
He's a high school sophomore.
Yeah. Trey Taylor is his name. He comes from Illinois. He's evidently a big old passer. He's one of the top passers in the 2027 recruiting class.
Just got his driver's license.
Yeah. He chose Nebraska over Illinois, LSU, Texas A&M. Made one of those internet-type commitments yesterday.
With all the hats.
Yeah, he can't formally sign a letter of intent for 20 months. Yeah, so he committed early.
Right.
He can't officially sign for like 20 months, so obviously a lot can happen between now and 20 months from now. This is a kid that received his first Division I scholarship when he was a 7th grader.
Jesus.
Yeah, Maryland offered him a scholarship when he was in 7th grade. So now he commits to Nebraska, and he's got 20 months now.
Did he win the award because he was the first kid to hit his growth spurt?
God. Yeah, so like I said, a lot can happen between now and 20 months from now and when they get his signature on the paper. Mm-hmm. But evidently we got a quarterback for the future and Trey Taylor coming in. And then later in the day, just out of the blue, we get a kicker out of the transfer portal.
Okay.
Kyle Cunanan is his name. He's coming from Cal. He started his college career at Charlotte. Then he went to Cal, found out once he got to Cal that the school did not offer the major that he was interested in. Oh. So he hopped into the transfer portal. We plucked him out of there yesterday, and now we've got 3 kickers.
Well,
with Cunanan coming in with Tristan Albano, mm-hmm. John Hall. Obviously, all those guys are not going to stay here.
No, and I don't know what you do with Hall. I think he was a suitable backup when Albano was injured. He was shaky at best at times.
Well, Albano hasn't really lit the world on fire.
Oh no, not at all. But you're also kicking with a leg injury, and that's certainly not going to aid your field goal percentage by any stretch of the imagination. But you're right. I mean, he hasn't looked great. Yeah, I wasn't surprised to see a special teams move just to get have an opportunity to get some consistency in that kicking game and have that be a safe play. So yeah, welcome in Cunanan. But yeah, you're right. I mean, no.
I saw some stuff today.
Will transfer.
I saw some stuff on Albano today that they're kind of looking at him that maybe he's going to pack up and leave. I don't have anything firm in place, no concrete evidence or a source telling me that. But I have been hearing some stuff now that Tristan Albano, his days might be numbered. So
yeah, I mean, really, realistically, you need one, right, in that kicking room.
Yeah, we certainly don't need 3, especially if we're going to have a 105-man player roster for next year.
Exactly.
we don't need 3 kickers.
Yeah, you have a 105-man roster and you're using up 3 kicker spots. You're going wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how the kicking room shapes up. I'm still concerned about the punting situation. after losing the punter to Washington that we got because of the rugby style. I don't believe we've filled that spot yet.
We have not.
And so that's a concern.
They're going to try to get somebody by the summer. Is what the latest scandal I heard.
Scandal. Scandal in the punting room.
We sure talk a lot about special teams all of a sudden.
It's the only thing that we haven't really touched base on when we've been drinking our Roulade, and that's kind of the one glaring question mark I have. I like the offense we've got coming in. I like our backfield. I like Royola to mature and get even better than he was a year ago. I'm happy with Butler anchoring that defense, and obviously look forward to seeing how he puts that defense together. But I think the Black Shirts will be okay. One big question mark I have, and you need to have all three phases when you go into the football season, is special teams. And I think special teams has really, really killed us. And look at the games. Special teams, we've been awful. And we've lost games because of our special teams unit. And so that's my big question mark. And I think that's kind of why we're focusing. It's a pretty good problem to have, Mike, when it's May 2nd and we are still 4 or 5 months away from the football season getting underway. And the one thing that we're concerned with is who's going to punt.
I'm losing sleep over it. I can't get to sleep at night. I say, honey, who's going to punt for Nebraska this year?
You'd be like that internet meme where you're rolling on the other side of your pillow and the wife's saying, I bet he's thinking of other women. And you're like, oh, who's going to punt for Nebraska?
That's what's topping the sports scene. Hastings College hosting the GPAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships this weekend at our new track.
Dedication ceremony.
Dedication coming up at 4:30 this afternoon. So that's a big event going on this weekend at Hastings. You're going to see lots of activity over 6th Avenue and, 12th Street? It's going to be busy. It's going to be busy on that corner. So if you want to avoid a lot of traffic over there, you might want to detour around that. If not, stop in and attend the GPAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. We're hosting it at our brand new track that we've been renovating, a $1.1 million renovation of the track to bring in the GPAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships that's going on beginning at about 4:30 today and all day long tomorrow. So going to be a busy campus at Hastings College this weekend.
And while we're on the subject, I'm just going to put this plug out there, and I do it every time that we have big events in Hastings. Show your best hand, Hastings community. Show your best hand this weekend. Our bars and restaurants, they're going to be a little bit more full with GPAC track teams coming in and eating at our establishments and spending money in our community. Don't give them the wrong message that they are an inconvenience. Shout out to Fremont, man. When we were looking for places to eat, looking for places to stay, just looking for places to camp out for a little bit while we awaited the rain out over the last 48 hours, so many people in Fremont were, hey, welcome to our community. How you doing? How's the tournament going? Just open arms for even though you got the Midland Hastings College rivalry, and we got Hastings College stuff all across our chest, and they couldn't be more welcoming to us and our softball program. So let's return the favor this weekend when you got the GPAC track teams dining in at our establishments, and maybe the wait time are a little bit longer than usual. Maybe your burger isn't coming out as quickly as it typically does. Put your best foot forward and go out and welcome these schools into our community.
All right, you're working up with Mike and Tyson here today on Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. As usual, you can get a hold of us, 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. Anything we've discussed so far today or something on your mind, like maybe you know who's going to punt for us this year, give us a call and chime in with us. Maybe leave us a message on our social media sites as well. We're monitoring that in the Western Studios here this morning. Yeah, I just can't get through the show. My mind is on this punter. Who in the hell is going to punt for us this year? I mean, the season's coming up at the end of August. Season opener against Cincinnati.
Amber says we are going. I assume that's to the Derby?
No, I think that's to the track and field championships.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She's going to put her best foot forward and go
Watch
to the
some track?
event. Yeah, watch some track and field.
Isn't Riken a little track star?
He thinks he's a star at everything. He goes to like speed camps and everything, make him run faster.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah. I think we're past our prime.
Good.
I don't think I know we're past our prime.
Good, because I didn't really feel like running anyway.
Yeah. All right, it's 7:20 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Two communities came together yesterday to raise money for their local nonprofits on a day of giving with Give Hastings Day and Go Big Give in Grand Island. NGI Go Big Give as of 6 o'clock this morning shows over $2 million raised for the 168 nonprofits. Meanwhile, in Hastings, Give Hastings Day donors were just shy of raising $950,000 for the 114 participating nonprofits. Hastings Catholic Schools and Hastings College, top two earners in Hastings, while the Epic Discovery Center led the leaderboard in GI. Now former Kearney Police Chief Brian Waugh has been named the new superintendent of the Nebraska State Patrol. He replaces Colonel John Bolduc, who announced he will be retiring after the Memorial Day holiday. Waugh has been the head of the Kearney Police Department for 6 years and will begin his new duties in June. At the state capitol, lawmakers are moving forward with legislation to regulate medical marijuana after voters approved its legislation last November. The General Affairs Committee advancing a compromise bill in a 5-3 vote, allowing marijuana use for 15 medical conditions, but excluding PTSD. The bill permits forms like edibles, tinctures, vaping, and limited flower use, but prohibits smoking. Meanwhile, Attorney General Mike Hilgers is still challenging the ballot initiative in court, claiming the fraudulent signatures. And with just 18 days left in the legislative session, this bill needs to go through 3 rounds of debate before reaching the governor for his signature. It is 7:21. We will swing things over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Why do we vote on things?
That's a great question.
Yeah, why do we vote on things and then the legislature can't find the measures to
They have to, and that's the problem.
put our actions into place?
They had to come up with a bill, and they waited until obviously this was one that they were probably going to sit on, given the makeup and shakeup of the Nebraska legislature. But now you're 18 days away, and you got to pass something.
Yeah, we passed that. The voters passed that. So, I'm not in favor either way. But, God, we passed that overwhelmingly at the ballot box. So we go back to the legislature to try to get things in place to get it enacted, and they can't figure out how to get it enacted.
You go back, flashback just 3 years when they were trying to figure out how to do casinos and expanded gambling.
Oh, we don't want to get you started on that.
Well, it took the final week to get that through, and it's still not perfect.
No. Anyway, in sports, the Nebraska football team has landed one of the top passers in the 2027 recruiting class. 6'3", 185-pound Trey Taylor of Medellin, Illinois, committed to the Huskers yesterday. Taylor threw for 3,061 yards, 20 touchdowns, with 7 interceptions as a sophomore last fall. He chose the Huskers over other offers from Illinois, LSU, and Texas A&M. He committed to the Huskers 20 months before he is eligible to formally sign. He received his first Division I scholarship offer from Maryland as a 7th grader. The Nebraska football team has also added a kicker from the transfer portal. Kyle Cunanan began his college career at Charlotte in 2023, where he connected on 9 of 15 field goals as a freshman. In 2024, he was 5 for 5 on field goals, but he played in just 3 games. He then transferred to Cal this spring and was the only kicker on the Golden Bears roster, but decided to leave Cal in April because the school did not offer the major that he was interested in. Cunanan will compete with Tristan Albano and John Hall for the starting job this fall at Nebraska. The Nebraska baseball team will host Minnesota in a 3-game series this weekend. The softball team will host Maryland. Hastings College lost to Dordt 8-1 yesterday in the elimination game of the GPAC postseason tournament in Fremont. The Broncos were held to just 1 run on 4 hits and 3 walks in the ball game. Kaylee Panino had a couple of base hits. Hastings ends the season 22-22. Morningside went 2-0 yesterday to move into the championship game with a Fremont bracket. The Mustangs beat Dordt 6-2 and Midland 7-2. Today, Dordt will play Midland with the winner facing Morningside for the championship. In the Orange City bracket, top-seeded Northwestern has advanced to the championship series. The Red Raiders won 3 games on Thursday and will face the winner of the Fremont bracket in the best-of-3 championship series. At the GPAC baseball tournament yesterday in Seward, Briar Cliff beat Concordia 5-4. Dakota Wesleyan got by Midland 7-5, and Concordia defeated Dakota Wesleyan 13-2. Today, Briar Cliff will play Concordia in the championship finals. And in Yankton yesterday, Mount Marty beat Doane 10-4. Morningside defeated Northwestern 10-3, and Morningside got by Doane 6-5. So today, Mount Marty will play Morningside in the championship finals. The 2 bracket winners will play in the GPAC championship game coming up on Monday. High school baseball yesterday, St. Paul Palmer took 2 from Aurora, 12-5 and 13-3. Central City Centura defeated Twin River 10-4, and Grand Island got by Lincoln Southwest 4-3. Today, Hastings will play at Kearney. First pitch will be at 4. Tomorrow, Adams Central will play a triangular at Omaha Northwest and Douglas County West. That's a check on your sports headlines. 7:26 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
As we head into the weekend, we start off this Friday with a chance of area showers once again. It'll be breezy as well. We'll have north winds 10 to 20, gusting up to 25 miles per hour, and a high of around 60 degrees. Overnight tonight, a scattered shower or thunderstorm, a low of 37. That's right, it'll be a little chilly on Saturday morning, but then for the weekend, the sunshine comes out. We'll have patchy frost Saturday morning, a high of 71, and Sunday, plenty of sunshine and 72.
As you wake up, get going this morning, we've got north winds at 12. It is partly cloudy, 48 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com. Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
All right, Mike Willis, Heinzen and Bronick with you on this Friday. As of now, all systems go for Cam Raceway tonight for their racing cards. So that means if you can't make it to the races, you can join us here on Extreme Sports. Just go to our website, click on the top of the page there. You see a little tab that says Racing. Click on that, follow the instructions, and you'll be able to view the live racing action from Cam Raceway tonight in Hastings. Well, it's a Friday, and you know what that means.
They're moving in the gate.
And down the stretch they come in the Kentucky Derby, and Barbaro is running away. It's Edgar Prado aboard, and Barbaro is going to win this Derby by 6 lengths. Bluegrass had second. From far back, Steppenwolf came on to be third.
All right, every Friday we like to check in with Jim Slacker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network to get his thoughts on the Fauner Park racing card for the weekend. And it's certainly this weekend, kind of a special weekend with the Kentucky Derby being run tomorrow. So good morning, Jimmy. Your plate is full today.
The plate is full, but it's an exciting weekend. This year's kind of the pinnacle of the spring meet. It's last weekend for Fauner Park, and like I said, the Triple Crown kicks off. That looks to be a very exciting race with a full field of 20 ready to go.
Jimmy, before we get talking ponies here, I saw your comment on the on social media. Do you have punting experience? Could we use you at punter? You got a pretty cheap nil deal that you're asking the university. You still got anything left in that leg?
Well, I'd start working out to try to get a couple volleyball tickets and join the football team. I'll do whatever I can to help out.
That's what we like, Jimmy. You're a team player. You're a team player, not only here at Extreme Sports, but you're going to help out the football team. But I think thanks for your offer, but I think we'll look elsewhere. All right.
Well, I stand about to get a chance of being Nebraska's punter as I do riding a Kentucky Derby winner at my weight.
All right, let's talk Fauner first of all, then we'll get to the Kentucky Derby. I know a lot of people are in the room, maybe going to pick your brain for the Kentucky Derby because there's a lot of horses to kind of go through in the Derby with the 20 horses going to post. What about Fauner this weekend? I know there's a couple of big races coming up on Saturday for the final day.
Yeah, Saturday with the final day. There's 9 races on tap and 2 stakes races. We'll get started with the first stakes race being the Fawner Park Special Stakes. That's for Nebraska breds. And then later on, we'll finish up with the Al Swihart Memorial, and that has a really fantastic field that has a perennial favorite in there, that crowd favorite, Tennessee Moon, and also PR Odd Setter. So both of them look like both races are really stacking up nice, and it's going to be a fun weekend out here, and hopefully we can make some money.
Let's talk a little bit about the Saturday card and those stakes races, and you mentioned some of the horses that are going to be in that field. Who do you like? Let's start with the Swihart Stakes. That's kind of the big capper, if you will, for the season for Fawner Park. Break down that field and where your mind is here on a Friday morning.
Well, the El Swihart's kind of an interesting race this year. It's got a really good field, and it's got a standout horse in it called Tennessee Moon. As we all know, Tennessee Moon last year was the winningest horse in the nation, and he was running at Fawner Park. He's been fantastic here this year. But I look for this race to be a little bit different for Tennessee Moon. Tennessee Moon's coming back after just a week off. Which isn't unusual for that horse, but its last race it run in the 1 1/16 Bosselman, and to come back that quick after such a grueling race where she set the pace against the older horses, the horse that beat it, shipped in from New Orleans, one of the top horses in the Midwest, and coming back off of that and cutting back, it's got an easier field than what the Bosselman has, but I think that's going to take its toll on Tennessee Moon, and so I'm kind of looking for PR Odd Setter to upset her this time, just because I think she needed a little more time between races. But if she can come back and win that race this weekend, I'll tell you what, she's a standout mare and should be voted Horse of the Year at Fawner Park as far as I'm concerned.
All right, what about the other stakes race on Saturday, Jimmy?
Well, the other stakes is the Fawner Park Special Stakes. That's for 3-year-old Nebraska breds. Nice field of 8 going postward there. I look for Courtline to get the win. Courtline will be the favorite in the race probably. Another one that's in here is No More Stats, and I'll tell you what, No More comes in here. Got beat last time in the Mark Hibden barn, but I think Courtline, this race is going to set up nice for him. He'll be laying just off the pace and run him down at the end for Jason Wise.
Again, 2 days remaining, 2 days of live thoroughbred racing for Nebraska's favorite springtime tradition over at Fawner Park. And Jim, as we enter into this final weekend, is there still, as far as the jockey standings are concerned, trainer standings, owner standings, is there still some top spots on offer, up for grabs here as we enter the final weekend? Well, what's kind of the key race within the race, so to speak?
Well, the jockey standings, Kevin Roman's kind of starting to pull away in that one and has that one pretty much locked up after his 6 wins last Friday and coming back with 2 stakes wins on Saturday. He was actually voted by a panel of experts as he tied for the lead in the nation as best jockey of the week last week on a national level. So, he's kind of pulled away there. Trainer standings, a little bit tighter. We're going to see coming down to Izzy Gonzalez, Mark Hibden there for wins. That's going to be a tough battle. They both got a lot of horses entered, so that's the only real open there. Like I said, I think jockey title, we're going to see that Kevin Roman's just going to continue to pull away.
We're talking with Jim Slacker, the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. So, again, 2 live days of racing left at Fawner Park. So, best bets, long shots, Jimmy, on this final weekend. What do we look for this weekend?
Well, Friday on today's card, for the best bet, I look for that to be in race 2, number 2, Oregon County. Oregon County, perfect this year. Coming out of Izzy Gonzalez's barn. He's raced 5 times, won all 5, most of them pretty convincingly. He's stretching out to a mile today. That shouldn't be any problem for him. That horse is also 10 for 17 lifetime at Fawner Park. He looks to be much the best again today to pull away there. If we're looking for a long shot today, I'm going with race 7, number 1, and Amber's Diamond. She's a very quick horse from the gate. Only once in her career, and it's a brief career, but only once has she been headed after a quarter mile. And if you look, she's undefeated at 4 furlongs the distance of this race today. So if she can get out of the gate, coming out of the 1 hole, and it appears she can, because she's broke from the 1 and 2 hole quite frequently and done real well. I think Amber's Diamond should possibly get some odds and make a little money today. Now, if we're moving on to Saturday, my best bet's kind of an interesting one. Race 9, I'm looking for number 8. We call it Doc. Now, I keep a list of horses that's kind of in my virtual stable that whether they've had problems in the race, whether they excelled really well. And I get to this race, and guess what? I've got 3 horses in that race that all showed up on my virtual stable. And I'm going, wow, what do I do here? 2 of them had problems. All 3 of these come out of the same race, matter of fact. And so I'm sticking with the 8 horse. We call him Doc, and the reason for that is we call him Doc. Should be out on the lead all by himself this time. Last time he went out with Bolt Dior, battled on the lead. They went into the final turn. The jockey got a little excited and checked his horse out, got a little tight on the rail, and went from leading the race and being right on the inside of Bolt Dior to checking and running, backing up to 4th, and then come on to run 2nd, and only got beat by about a length. Now you got 2 other horses in that race that both of them raced extremely wide and come from the back. Amavir was one that I looked really closely at, and I'm going, gee, I really like this horse, but I don't see the setup for my 2 off-the-pace horses to come from out of it. So I look for, we call him Doc, to get out by himself and control the pace and go on from there. And then so he should be our best bet. And in the long shot for on Saturday, I'm going with race 6, number 7, Verrazano's First. It's made only 1 start this year. It showed some speed and tired. It wasn't leading the race, but it was close to the pace, and then it dropped back and finished in the back of the pack. It drops down in claiming price, but this horse has a lot of back class. If you look at last year, this horse was running a lot of seconds, thirds. It occasionally wins. I think if Verrazano's First returns to some back class, that we're going to get some odds there, and I'll be playing that one in the exotics. So that's my best bets and long shots for this weekend.
Jim Sliker again from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us here on Huddle Up this morning. It's 7:42, which means it's 42 minutes past noon somewhere. Jim, let's go ahead and start sipping on some mint julep and head over to Churchill Downs. The lobby is full, and I can imagine people are busy with pen and paper in hand. Want to pick your brain on the Kentucky Derby. Mike and I briefly kind of broke down our knee-jerk reactions to the post positions and the horses in the field. As far as the Kentucky Derby is concerned, where's your heart leaning here as they get set to run for the Roses on Saturday?
Well, I kind of teased you last week and told you a horse that I was kind of watching. I'll probably still be playing that horse in the exotics, the trifectas, the superfecta, and things like that, because it should have some fantastic odds, and that being in Publisher. But let's be realistic. Publisher's run really fantastic this year. It just seems to have problems and never gets the win. This horse has never won a race in his life. It's still a maiden. But, you take a look at this horse, and how many maidens do you see that have made 400,000 plus in their life and never won a race?
Right.
This horse should be coming from mid-pack and trying to make a nice run. But I think when it all comes down to it, I'm going to look in the Mark Cassie barn and look at Sandman. He comes out of the Arkansas Derby. He won that last out. He's always been close. He's going to need a fast pace up front to run into. Some of that pace disappeared yesterday. Bob Baffert decided to scratch Rodriguez, which had one out in New York to qualify to come in. It had a small quarter crack. You don't want to take a chance in that, and so there went a little bit of the speed in the race. But I still think it should set up nicely for Sandman. But as we know at the Derby, not every time does the best horse win. It's the horse who gets the best trip. You put 20 horses out there, and it gets pretty congested sometimes. So for a horse to come from the back like Sandman, he's going to have a nice trip and have some luck on his side.
All right, so Sandman is Jimmy's choice. What are maybe a couple of other horses that might be up there with Sandman?
Well, the favorite in the race is probably going to be Journalism, who comes out of the Santa Anita Derby with the win. Runs some very nice races out there. Another horse that he'll be a little more towards the front. So I think Journalism's going to be a big part of this. If we look at the East Coast favorite, we're looking at Sovereignty. I'm a little skeptical there. He's got to come from the way outside. He's coming from the 18 hole, and so that one makes it a little tougher too. Although he will be kind of mid-placed with Sandman in there. An interesting one, and kind of the Cinderella horse, has been a horse by the name of Coal Battle. He was racing in Arkansas too. The sentimental favorite there is the person who trains that horse isn't a big time barn. Lonnie Brindley comes in. He's 74, 75 years old. He's a preeminent down at Oaklawn Park, but he doesn't have the big barn full of horses like a Baffert, a Cox, and things. So he'll take some play. I think he'll run really good. A horse that won't surprise me if he's up there, he'll be out on the lead, is going to be East Avenue. We've talked about him in the past. He's let me down a couple times, but now last time he come back with a really nice win in the Toyota Bluegrass and run second. So taking Rodriguez out of there and a little bit of the speed, I think that'll help East Avenue to possibly carry some speed on. And so those are kind of the horses that I'll be playing in my Superfecta and trying to make some big money.
You mentioned the navigating through the 19-horse field over at the Kentucky Derby, and how that can make and shake a race. And oftentimes you see a lot of familiar faces that are atop these thoroughbreds that are heading down towards the wire. Is there a jockey combination that you're looking for that has a lot of good experience, that might be on a horse that's kind of maybe mid-pack or getting some long odds that could potentially cash if ridden well?
Well, an interesting one is one that draws into the field now is Beza, who have Flavian Pratt. He was scheduled to ride Rodriguez, but after the scratch now, that horse will draw in. It's going to be tough for him with some trying to be towards the front, but Flavian Pratt is one of the top jockeys, and you put him out there, he can navigate that track. Also, we don't have a bad jockey in this race, but you really have to look at the Ortiz brothers. If you look at Irad and Jose, these guys seem to know how to get it done. You look at Saez is another one that very familiar with the track, and like I said, this is a tough race. I wish it was a case where you could say the best horse always wins, but that's why it's racing, and that's why we got some good odds to play here.
One other horse I want to ask you about, Jimmy, is Render Judgment. You know anything about this horse, Render Judgment?
I'm not super familiar with that horse. I see the races that he's come out and stuff. Render Judgment is going to be at, and I'm going to say he's going to be at some odds of 60 to 71 or possibly more come post time. It's going to be an interesting one there. But then again, he has one of the top jockeys on him and a top trainer in Kenny McPeak. This is one that he's had a little problems in his races, in a couple of them, but I can't throw him completely out as I can a couple horses, but he would be a big surprise for me to see him win it.
Well, Jimmy, that kind of goes along with my football and basketball betting because Render Judgment is the kind of the horse that I'm looking for this weekend.
Well, if you put 2 to win on that horse and he gets home, we're going to have a good party somewhere. He's going to make some money.
All right, well, just keep that in mind. Render Judgment. I think he's owned. I think my wife told me that Toby Keith at one time owned that horse, and that's where I'm getting a little vibe from. So maybe Render Judgment is going to come up as the surprise winner.
It is. Toby Keith, longtime owner down in Oklahoma, country music artist, passed away recently. Very sad to see. He was part owner in that, so he always wanted to get a horse to the Kentucky Derby. As his family says, he's got the best seat of the house to watch. So they're cheering him on. I'd be cheering him on too. He was a fantastic spokesman for our sport, and so that's the type of people you like to see win. I mean, do we need to see the Rapolis and the same people all the time? No, I like to see the small guy come in and do good, and so I'd love to see that just because of how Toby was in our sport.
All right, bet him to win, play, show. There we go. Render Judgment. Bet him across the board on Saturday. That's Mike's tip for the Kentucky Derby.
Well, let's hope you're there, Mike, and unless you take me out and, knock me out of a big payoff.
All right, there's a little horse talk for us today. Not only the final 2 days of racing at Fauner Park, but again, the Kentucky Derby. So there's a lot to ponder here in the next several hours here, Jimmy. There's a lot on the plate for horse racing.
There is, and I mean, listen, this is just getting started on the Triple Crown. Another 2 weeks we'll have the Preakness. We'll see some different horses in there. Then we're going to turn around 3 weeks after that for the Belmont. But we also got to remember that it's not just the Colts and Geldings out there that are trying to make a name for themselves. We also got the Kentucky Oaks today, so the Philly Triple Crown, and that's a really nice race. That one's run this afternoon, and in that one, there's a horse that just kind of stands out in there in Gamely that she's undefeated this year, and I look for her to just roll today. She's run 5 races, won all 5, won them pretty easy. So if you're looking to play a Oaks Derby double, that might be a way to try to key with the horse today and find a long shot tomorrow.
All right, so if you want to,
I think. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, if you want to check out all of your picks and all of your thoughts and all the races coming up, people can do that pretty easily. Just go to your Facebook group that you got going. Talk about that.
Okay, yeah, and I gotta back up. I said Gamer, and I had the wrong horse there. It's actually Good Charm is the one that should win today in the Kentucky Oaks. But yeah, you can go over to the Facebook group, Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. I'll have all my picks posted for today and tomorrow at Fauner Park. And then as soon as Fauner wraps up, we'll head to Legacy Downs over in Lincoln starting next Friday. So we'll be ready to go again.
All right, so Jim Sliker again from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us on this Friday. Jimmy, it looks like we got a lot of opportunities to make some cash this weekend, so we hope people can head up to Fauner and enjoy the final couple of days of racing, enjoy the Kentucky Derby, and most important, put some cash in their pockets this weekend.
I look to try to do that. I mean, I got to get my funds up to try to buy a horse one of these days, and I don't want to have to take it from the family fund. I want it from the horse fund. So we're trying really hard to make some extra bucks this weekend.
Jimmy, have yourself a good weekend, bud.
Thanks, guys, and just remember, we'll see you at the track, and we will have fun, and you can bet on it.
All right, that's Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. I'm drinking the Horse Aid. I'm drinking the Horse Aid, the Render Judgment Horse Aid.
You got a long shot play in there, buddy. Might go off at like 60-1.
Oh, he was 60-1 earlier in the week when I first checked him out. He's now, the odds I pulled up at 5 o'clock this morning, he's down to 13-1.
It's because you started talking about him.
I think so.
People are listening to this show, placing some early money on Rendered Judgment.
So
that story tugs at the heartstrings, man. I mean, it just does.
I think that's why I might be sentimentally on.
Yeah.
I have no other knowledge about Rendered Judgment other than I know Toby used to own part of that horse. So, All right. Wow, it's 7:54. 7:54 on this Friday morning. Let's get a quick news and sports update here.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
$754, two communities came together yesterday to raise money for their local nonprofits on a day of giving with Give Hastings Day and Go Big Give. In Grand Island, Go Big Give, as of 6 o'clock this morning, showed over $2 million raised for 168 nonprofits. Meanwhile, in Hastings, Give Hastings Day just shy of raising $950,000. Hastings Catholic Schools and Hastings College, the top two earners in H-Town. Now, former Kearney Police Chief Brian Waugh. He has been named the new superintendent of the Nebraska State Patrol. He will replace John Bolduc, who announced he will be retiring after the Memorial Day holiday. Meanwhile, at the state capitol, debate continues on medical marijuana. After voters approved it in November, lawmakers need to come up with the legislation to make it legal. General Affairs Committee advancing a compromise bill 5-3 yesterday to allow marijuana use for 15 medical conditions, but it does exclude PTSD, which could be a sticking point as the debate moves forward. Meanwhile, the issue's still going on in the courts. Attorney General Mike Hilger is challenging the ballot initiative, claiming the fraudulent signatures. Despite the overwhelming majority on the polls, there is just 18 days left in the legislative session. The bill needs to go through 3 rounds of debate before it reaches the governor. Grab your popcorn. This could be fascinating final 2 weeks of the Nebraska legislature. 5 minutes till 8 o'clock. Quickly over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
The Nebraska football team has landed one of the top passers in the 2027 recruiting class. 6'3", 185-pound Trey Taylor of Medellin, Illinois, committed to the Huskers yesterday. He chose Nebraska over other offers from Illinois, LSU, and Texas A&M. Huskers have also plucked a kicker out of the transfer portal. Kyle Cunanan started his college career at Charlotte, moved on to California, and now he's going to be competing with Tristan Albano and John Hall for the starting job as a place kicker at Nebraska. Husker baseball team, 3-game series against Minnesota this weekend. The softball team will host Maryland. Hastings College softball season is over. They lost to Dordt yesterday in the elimination game of the postseason tournament in Fremont by the score of 8-1. The Broncos finished the season at 22-22. High school baseball today. Hastings will play at Kearney. First pitch at 4 o'clock this afternoon at Memorial Field. Tomorrow, Adams Central will play a triangular at Omaha Northwest and Douglas County West. That's checking your sports headlines at 7:57.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
As we head into the weekend, we start off this Friday with the chance of area showers once again. It'll be breezy as well. We'll have north winds 10 to 20, gusting up to 25 miles per hour, and a high of around 60 degrees. Overnight tonight, a scattered shower or thunderstorm, a low of 37. That's right, it'll be a little chilly on Saturday morning, but then for the weekend, the sunshine comes out. We'll have patchy frost Saturday morning, a high of 71, and Sunday, plenty of sunshine and 72.
Right now, we've got north winds at 12 miles per hour. It's partly cloudy, 48 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Cam Raceway brings the action every Friday night with high-speed thrills and dirt-flying excitement for the whole family. From A-class and non-wing warriors to junior sprints, junior cage karts, and flat karts, there's something for every race fan to cheer for. Grandstands open at 7. Ages 13 and up are just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. Want to be part of the action? Pit passes are just $20, with gates opening at 5:30. And mark your calendars. Saturday, May 24th is the Deb Brunts Memorial Show. featuring $20,000 in total purse and some of the best racing you'll see all season. Cam Raceway, where the dirt flies and legends are made.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
All right, Mike Willen, Science Center of Bronick. It's a Friday morning, a huddle up here on Extreme Sports. I was just digging into the couch to see if I could find some loose change in the couch so I could go up to maybe Grand Island and bet my horse, Render Judgment.
Judgment? You got to bet Amber's Diamond today, don't you?
That's what I was thinking, too.
Lucy's Diamond?
Yeah, she's running today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe I need a little bit more change than just what I could find on the couch. $6. I gotta find $6 worth of change to go bet Render Judgment.
Across the board, baby.
$2 across the board on Render Judgment.
$6 total.
Wait till that pick comes in Monday. Wow. I could be rich. I could be rich on Monday.
Or you could be working again on Monday. One of the two options.
Chances are I'll be joining you Monday morning bright and early. Yeah. Chances are we'll be here. Anyway, if you want to listen to the picks again that Jimmy had, and we went into detail about everything at Fauner Park. There's some big races at Fauner, big races in the nation today, and, of course, the Kentucky Derby. You can get the podcast and listen to it and have your pencil and pen and paper in hand so you can write down the picks. Just go to our podcast section on any of our social media sites and listen to this show again. A lot of good info on the show here today. So
absolutely.
It's been a grueling week, my man. You've been in a couple of cities. But we pulled her off. We pull her off like we usually do.
It's amazing how many times faced up against the odds we can still manage to pull everything off. So a big tip of the cap again to HC Softball again for their hospitality. IT man Shaner, he was busy getting my hotel set up for the show yesterday. Thanks to Coach Williams for joining us live in room 124 yesterday as we had an unexpected stay over in Fremont. But glad to be back in the Western Studios and glad to be back home so that tonight we can watch the St. Louis Blues as we queue up some Gloria here on a Friday morning. Game 6, 7 o'clock. St. Louis and the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, God. In that series tied up?
3-2, the Jets have the lead. We need a win. It's in St. Louis. Blues have been a fortress in the Enterprise Center. They'll try to take it to a Game 7, which would be, I think, Sunday back in Winnipeg if St. Louis can pull it off tonight. Only one Game 7 out of the entire NHL playoffs. That'll be played Saturday so far. Colorado and Dallas. It was an absolute thriller last night. Colorado scoring a few late to knock off the Dallas Stars, so that goes to a Game 7. Otherwise, the field's starting to take shape. You got Carolina, Washington over in the East, along with Florida and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who avoided the reverse sweep from the Ottawa Senators last night. So, yeah, just a couple games remaining here on the NHL card, but the big one, 7 o'clock tonight in the Lou, the Blues and the Jets.
I know what you're going to be doing tonight, then.
Probably.
Take her easy. Take her easy.
But another show tomorrow. What the hell do I have to take it easy for?
It's Friday. The weekend is here. Why not? Have yourself a great weekend. We'll catch you back here again Monday morning on Huddle Up.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every week.